Welcome to another episode of 3 Questions. This time it's inside the hotel of the Northwest Astrological Conference 2026 outside of Seattle. Today I am with
Max Lange.
We just met this weekend for the first time. You don't even know what we're about to do. I'm going to ask you some questions. You don't know the questions, correct?
Correct.
My viewers know the questions because I have a series where I interview astrologers and I ask the same 3 questions, okay?
Okay.
And we'll see where it takes us. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, question number 1. What is your favorite astrological technique?
Okay, so right now definitely annual directions or like circumambulations, but you do it on the solar return.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Interesting. Yeah. And why is that? Before we go there, before that, was there a particular technique you were using and then you were inspired by this recently, or what's the story?
I mean, I sort of tend to do astrology readings for friends when there's birthdays, so I did a lot of solar returns, and it's so like, okay, they work really well. Mm-hmm. But like, and then I got into like, there's this like new stuff coming out, books about like solar revolutions from Arab times, you know.
Abu Mashar's book? Or,
exactly, these things. And there's this amazing book by Charlie Obert.
Yeah, I know which one.
The cycle of the year.
Yes.
And there he talks about this annual direction, and it used to be like that. I was like, this stuff is like way too symbolic, abstract. It can't be real, you know. And then I just tried it, and it just lined up with like events in this year that were very peculiar, like to the day, and with the bounds also, which I thought were bullshit, but then like made me realize that the traditional stuff is like very real and like very practical.
And you saw it like when you were using the techniques and the calculations with clients and with your own chart too, or?
I started with my own chart.
Of course,
I can't like go into the private details right now, but it's like my favorite thing when someone asks me like, hey, it's this kind of like short term, often things like, hey, what's going on next week? Like you can look at transits, but transits are often pretty random. But this technique, you have like, the ascendant will go into the bound of Saturn, but there's going to be a trine from the sun in that list. And it's going to be this exact, and then you see like, this is the day I'm actually traveling to the conference. This is the day where I have like, and you see it lining up. And so it's very handy for these like kind of midterm, short-term predictions for people.
Let's say somebody out there wants to do something like that, and they're like, okay, I just learned something, and you mentioned a couple books, by the way. By the way, just so you know, anything we say and I reference, I go search the links and put them in the copy. My viewers know that. I have a bookshop.org storefront where I archive all the books mentioned on my podcast and any other reference links. So for a free place, I'm going to assume to do this kind of calculation and find out. It's probably AstroSeek probably has it for free, correct?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then any other place you would do it?
Coincidentally, I just built an app that can do all these techniques. And I have to say, I was really inspired by AstroSeek. I think Peter is doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
And but like I have it in my app now, and it's like much more fun even than on AstroSeek, because it just like works in a very intuitive way to pull up all these lists. Yeah. Do
you need to be connected to the internet to do the calc? Yeah.
No.
I think that's a huge. I'm one of these people. I'm an Astro Gold user.
Yeah.
I use AstroSeek, but I'm one of these people that I want to be able to calculate a chart without being connected to the internet. Yeah. I think it's very important. We'll talk a little bit about more there later in this thing. But thank you for answering the first question. By the way, later you can go to my YouTube page and you'll see the playlist of 3 questions with astrologers, and you'll hear what they answer for stuff like this. All right, second question. What is your earliest memory connected to astrology?
So, I mean, people always ask you like, how did you get into astrology? And for me, it's like basically, I had this friend and whose parents were like total hippies. And so he would always ask everyone for their sign. And I was like 17 or something. I was like, this is really strange. Like, what is this stuff? And then I think him or like some girl gave me a book by Liz Green, the Love book by Liz Green. I don't know, like
relating.
It's just like a cookbook relationship thing.
Sure.
And read the text on Pisces in there, and with all my teenage, passions and like melancholy, and it was like nobody has ever wrote something that I felt so understood, and this was the beginning, And,
the poet, the wounded poet who writes the love letters to the girl who doesn't pay attention to him or something. Or anyway. Yeah. So wait, how old around-ish?
16, 17, I don't really remember.
And then, what happened after that?
Well, then I was like, okay, you Google, and then that was still kind of the wild days of the internet also,
Sure, yeah.
So there was astro.com, and then you were like, there's all these and a bunch of other German sites, and then I realized okay, there must be intelligent people here, because there are all these technical terms Sonnenbogendirektion, which means solar arc direction, all this weird stuff that I couldn't understand, and so and then I was hooked, because it was when there are things that I don't understand, but they seem really, someone intelligent is behind them. I want to.
It's technical or clinical or something. Oh, that's not just some ethereal something. There's some math to it. There's some calculation to it. There's a basis.
Or a system.
A system, and then you discover the philosophical basis of things, and so I can see that you mind saying where your Mercury is?
It's an Aquarius.
An Aquarius, right? So you're gonna dive right in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dive right in. Okay, thank you for answering the second question about the earliest memory. Okay, the third question kind of sometimes splits off into many other ones, but I'll try to keep it simple with you. Is there anything that you're reading or researching these days that's not astrology based? Even though everything is astrology based in the end, but is there anything fiction, non-fiction, research, something creatively inspiring, something like that?
I mean, it's also kind of obvious, but for me the whole AI thing has been really important, but I can say I was in AI before it was cool,
Sure,
I used to do art, like media art. I'm a music producer and sound design person, and I did a graduation project where I did an audio science fiction audio drama. It's sort of whole thing, and about an AI on a spaceship, etc. And so I've been always obsessed with this, and now with this is always a thing that I come back to, cognitive science and AI, or you could say AI psychology, all the questions about how we interact with these systems and what could be a healthy way for us to interact with these systems, and how can we interface with them in other ways than we currently do,
Yeah.
And this is a great thing for me.
I don't know how long you've been in the States this time, but within the last month or so, there's a massive rebellion towards the data center issue.
Yeah.
The environmental issues. Yeah. There's a rebellion happening. I'm connected to a lot of musicians in my world too, and so Sora, I can't remember the companies out there, but there's this anti-thing. And it's interesting, certain companies no, we're not going to have streaming AI music. That YouTube in the last month completely take channels off because of certain boundaries they're trying to create. At the same time, it's not going away. In my opinion, I think it's interesting with the transits here, with Uranus and Gemini and Pluto and Aquarius. And, actually, in the beginning of the Pluto and Aquarius transit that was going in and out, it's when I remember the weekend. It was in May or something where Google Bard changed to Google Gemini.
Okay.
When they changed the name, I'm like, what meeting did they have? Who came up Gemini? And there's some people who don't know astrology, why call it Gemini? And somebody probably gave a speech and said, this is why. And they're like, oh, perfect. We're going to call our AI. So from things like that to actually the political part and who has the power and the investment power. And I follow many different newsletters that deal with AI and investment lately because I'm trying to understand. And there's been massive chess playing and power playing in the last 2 years, especially with OpenAI and Anthropic, because you have Mario and recently some people who just left OpenAI for Anthropic. They got rid of Sam Altman. I got to do his chart. Do you know what Sam's chart? I got to remember to go look at Sam's chart. If we can find
some weird, I think he's a 1984 maybe.
Oh, interesting.
Zuckerberg, the kind of Saturn Scorpio.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah, because 83 was Pluto and Libra, was Saturn and Libra conjunction that was happening 83, and it was the shift over that happened 84 with Saturn going to Scorpio. But regardless, for me, and just letting you know my thing with AI, Claude, a little bit Claude, me Gemini Pro, but from basic stuff, to be honest, like YouTube titles and chapter markers to do it. But at the other end, I know some people in our industry that are going deeper. So I am not one of these people who are like, never. Yeah. Because I see what's inevitable, but ethically, and we have to question things, and we have to, I'm saying that to something that what you said, like you're exploring it, how humans are interfacing with something like this. There's many different ways we can. Who guides that? Right? Yeah. Who most people, not to be weird, but a lot of people follow. Things need to be easy, right? Most people follow. Some people just create from a base core level whatever they're doing. And so if many people are following, or they can't catch up with the times or learn how to do something, they're going to use something that's presented to them by someone else, another company or whatever. Yeah. And so you're going to trust them, how they set up the model. You know what I'm saying. Now, what do you think about what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, I think that it's not even like what people do with these things. It's like what they do, and they don't even know that they do it because of the technology, like the form that is given to you, that you fill with whatever you do, that's like already predetermined so much of what you think you should do with it, like the way the car works or whatever, like the way the steering wheel works will determine how you drive, how you feel in the car and how fast you go, and or like if you do dangerous things, or if you do like be creative, and you have to like create a technology that has the values, or like the kind of human values implicitly in the technology. That's what
do humans do? If we do many different things. I mean, we create beautiful things.
Yes, exactly.
And we also destroy things, right? And is it all of that? Is that in the modeling? It's a reflection of who we are. It's a mirror of who we are, really, right? But in a sense, though, we are controlling that mirror, right? And who does control that, right?
I mean, the mirror controls us, because we are like vain people, I guess.
Right.
There's always this feedback loop, and this is like where you have to like step in and create something that like doesn't create like a vicious cycle. But like creates like a technology that's like makes you pause, for example,
Sure.
That makes you step away, and like you can create interfaces that are very addictive, where you just completely lose your agency. It happens with AI agents too. I mean, building things with an AI agent, you feel like you're in front of a slot machine.
Right.
You want me to build this? Yes. You want me to build this? Yeah. Right. You're just like, and then 3 hours go by, and you haven't had like a single active thought in your head anymore.
I think that's the interesting thing here, because I think even before this resurgence in the public sphere, were connected to AI before, but even before that, like, if we're just thinking about an app and phones, like the thing that happened before the iPhone, touchscreen iPhone, right? We were texting in BlackBerry and Palm OS or something like that. By the way, I had a chart calculation on my Palm OS.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It was wild. Nice. I think I still have it in storage somewhere.
I want to see it.
Yeah, it was. I forget who made it, but and it was huge. I could carry it in my hand. But ever since the phone and apps and the connection to a cellular network, and what's happened till then, I mean, I'm saying this because of what you're saying of like the user interface and choice. And do I have a creative, constructive, contemplative thought anymore? Does anybody or is it just constantly something that's there that's just given to us like it's a tube into your system? As in like, let's say when I was younger, because I'm 55 years old, I'm a 1971 Gen X, what it was for me to stand at the train station, the bus stop. I didn't have any technology. And what did I do for the 20 minutes waiting?
Can you remember?
Yeah, I did, but so what do? You're standing there, I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't have to wait. Then your mind goes somewhere else. I stare at the clouds, or I'm contemplating or thinking about things, and it's nothing, but it's everything. And so saying that example I'm giving you, or an analog recording or 2-inch tape in a recording studio, what it is, there's a certain way that things move. Then we deal with ones and zeros. To me, there's nothing in between the ones and zeros. It's binary. In the analog world, I always felt like there's something in between what you see, like what you don't see. Is that way digitally. So I think about these things because of like that we get to a place where we're the consummation, that we're consuming time, and we have to do everything at this moment, at this rapid pace, or with this 5 minutes. And did we use the 5 minutes correctly? But what happened to the nothing? What happened to the mystery? What happened to that interfacing with the world?
Yeah.
So for me, my concern is an interface type of thing. Is like you said, the thought. Have I had a what did you say? Not constructive thought.
Not having an active thought.
Active thought or whatever. So what do you think? What I'm saying here about this?
It's absolutely. No, I agree. It's just very addictive, and the mind. I mean, if you're like really getting sucked into something, like you leaving your body, literally, like you lose feeling of your body, like you lose your stuff. You lose your wallet or whatever. Because you're like. Your head is literally in the clouds, and these systems they pull our energy out of the body into like purely the head and the eyes, and if you do that for like many days in a row, it does something to you, changes you.
It does. At the same time, we got people in research and genetics and stuff that are using AI, and it's helping things at a rapid pace to bring medicine and understanding, right? There's all this side, like the gifts and what this computation and this system can do, right? And so anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm not the expert on this, but I am not one that completely close things down. Can things be done in a way where there's some sort of balance, healthy balance? Now, as an astrologer, me personally, I have a thing with I think we're intertwined with nature, even though we can be disconnected with nature. As an astrologer, my divinity is everywhere. Everything is a ritual, and anything I do. And if I'm looking for the answers, I can go see an astrologer. Somebody can see me. We're part of the divinity, but the answers are always there if we're willing to see them and connect through our senses to the natural world, which goes back to inside, right? So for me, I don't want to ever lose that.
No.
Right?
We don't want to lose that.
No, but we have this technology that can be benefit whatever. Will we lose that? I don't know. These are questions that I have.
For sure.
So anyway, I asked you what kind of hobbies or what you were interested in, and you mentioned AI. Is there anything, I'm curious, in your life when you were younger, a particular book that you picked up that changed your outlook and the way you looked at life? Is there anything like that?
Oh, I think there were too many of these books. So it's always hard, like in that moment when you get asked, it's really hard to actually remember stuff. I mean, there is a book about there was a book about ADHD that I picked up on a flea market that was called a different way to see the world or something. It was a German translation, but it was actually an American guy. And
do you remember his name? I'll find it.
It's probably easy to find.
I'll find it.
He has this theory that ADHD is actually an adaptation of the brain for hunter-gatherer lifestyle, and there's just two genetic sort of traits in humans. Some people are more farming humans, who need long-term thinking. Everything that ADHD does to your brain is actually really good for being a hunter. You have that 360-degree view. You're always you have to be really active and all over the place with your eyes and your ears.
Right.
Until the point when you there's actually that animal that you want to hunt, and then
it's laser focus. Laser focus.
In this way, he explains all the traits of ADHD, and that gave me kind of a cool look to look at myself.
Very interesting.
Other neurodivergent people that might be to some degree, definitely a positive adaptation to a certain environment that we don't encounter anymore as modern humans.
Sure. Yeah, that's very interesting, because I'm thinking about birds or certain things in the wild and are moving and whatever, and then once they're locked in, I'm gonna find this book. Thank you for answering the third question. During I want to let people know here that the first question we mentioned software and stuff. And so how we met here. I was in Cameron Cassidy's lecture on primary directions here at the Northwest Astrological Conference. I really recommend people who want to learn primary directions. You can buy that on NORWAC.net site.
Yeah, for sure.
Another person I was influenced by primary directions is an astrologer named Anthony Lewis. He taught primary directions earlier for Kepler College this year. You can take that class. It's part of the medieval track. So we were there, and there were some questions that were asked. Cameron was asking, and you raised your hand. and you were talking about certain things. I can't remember exactly, but it said I created some software to help with this, to understand. What's this software? What's the name of it, your software?
So the software is called Aries because multiple reasons, but mainly I like to say because it's fast and like easy to use. It's fun, you know. It's like Aries. You can like get quick results. And I built it on top of an open source app from 2008 that actually Anthony Lewis uses a lot on his blog.
Which one?
And it's called Morinus.
Oh, Morinus. Yeah, because you can find them on the Mac. There's that one page that's still up there.
Exactly.
It's on a Google Google site.
But the link doesn't even work.
Anymore. It's not the updated one or whatever.
Exactly. But
you have to compile it.
Incredible old school, like super old looking app. Initially made by a guy, I don't know where he's from, Robert Nagy. And it's just, was there to like for people to do primary directions because it's this obscure technique that like kind of modern astrologers have forgotten about. So someone made like a free software, and I really like the aesthetic of it. I like to like do the research on primary. I like read Anthony Lewis books and also like love his blog. It's really good.
Yeah.
And I always had this.
Let me stop here for a second. He's still on an old WordPress. It's anthonylewis.wordpress.org, baby. It's the free one. But I'll put that link in there. There's years of blog posts. And almost every week he puts a post up. Okay, sorry. Interrupted you.
And it was always like, I really like the aesthetic of like the charts. It kind of looks like more nerdy, kind of more scientific, the whole app, and has this vibe. And also the app is named after Jean-Baptiste Morin or Morinus. He was this like early modern astrologer who tried to, right at the point where astrology was like about to like get like it was not part of academic culture anymore. He tried to make it scientific. He tried to like get it into the a modern paradigm, but he failed, of course. But he wrote this like super detailed manual on how to do them and had his own theories. And so lots of people who are into primary directions, they like his text because the way he systematically explains it. So that's why they named this app Morinus. And he was, by the way, also an Aries rising, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
So he was a kind of a pioneer, like a sort of spirit. And my dream was always to have this app, have it on Mac because it only runs on Windows, so I had to use this weird emulator. And it was very clunky, and it was like really weird and slow. And my dream was like, I wish I could like do my own thing, and like I like the aesthetic of this, but like I want to make it nice, and I want to put in all the ideas I have from my own astrological research. But I'm not a coder, I come from a creative background. And then like 2 months ago, or like 3 months ago, I met this old friend, and he was like, hey, have you checked the new AI tools? I was, I checked it out. It's not really doing anything for me. And no, it's different now. They released this new thing. You have to try it. That same night, I downloaded the AI thing, and I got the code because Morinus is open source. And the same night, I had like a stable Mac version. And then I was like, oh my God, this actually works. And then I just started adding more features, and like, it was like focused on like creating like a super nice workflow that I know from my music programs, from like film editing. So you have everything on your keyboard. You like can move very fast. You can animate things, go back in time. It's like a time traveling machine.
Sure. So then basically, you're saying that you use an AI model to help you construct. Because this is what I love about AI, because you hear about vibe coding, every vibe coding apps. It's vibe coding.
It's pure vibe coding.
Pure vibe coding. But that's part of what's happening right now.
Amazing.
And in the end, you still have to figure out bugs and whatever else. But the fact, just for the sole fact, like, I wanted to do this on my Mac, and I can do this now.
Exactly.
So where can people find out about this?
So I wanted to come here to like present it to people who are deep into the subject matter, and I got some really good feedback, and the app is pretty much ready to use. I mean, it's still like a beta version, but it works. You can do anything with it that you could do like on AstroSeek or with the other apps. And right now there is no shop. There is a private beta list. You can put your email in www.aries.sh, and you will get a 7-day trial for like all the NORWAC people and everyone who's interested. And I hope to be able to sell it soon, like in the next weeks for sure.
Good luck with this. And I think, again, for me, as someone who's been involved in the astrology world in many different ways, I know a lot of software people. I'm big time Astro Gold user. It's my main software. I love it.
Me too.
And I know the whole crew over there in Australia, but it's still, to be able to have it comes down to certain techniques that have just come back. And especially with primary directions, the type of calculations, and there's different calculations, different primary directions. Am I correct?
And
so many different ones. And so you have certain people. So you're part of a wave here that's happening. And I know it's always been a challenge for people in the past to do some of these calculations or how you had to do them. And so, so anyway, again, it's aries.sh. And when you get to that page, there you'll see an email thing to subscribe to updates or whatever. That's what I did this weekend. I haven't had a chance. But I just, again, thank you for talking about that, because that's how we met. It was at the end of that lecture. Before we round things up here, I'm going to ask a bonus question. I don't usually ask this, and I don't know you. You don't know me. Why are you here? Now, not at NORWAC. Why are you here?
I have to find that out. Like, that's why I'm here, I guess.
What calls you?
I mean, if I say the
truth?
And that's like what, finding the truth, or like being in a place in your body, and where you're like, this is it. This feels real. This is like usually what like I really try to achieve, to get a place where you're just like, you're just in the right kind of speed of time, and where like this is real, and I'm just here.
And you know that, like, in the moment, where it's
a feeling.
It's a feeling. Regardless of what you're doing or whatever, or doing nothing, it. Like I call it, like, I don't know, it's different ways, but I'm dialed in, or I feel, in one instantaneous moment, I feel that I know myself, and at the same time that the world and the universe is reflecting back to me that I'm in the right place. Even though it's like that all the time, but I think sometimes we have a moment where there is no past or present. And usually with past or present or future, we deal with could-have, would-haves, and whys and questions. And for me, that leaves. And it's a feeling, like you said. So.
I like the term self-remembering.
Self-remembering.
Oh, you're remembering, like, the current moment.
Yes, the current moment. For me, sometimes I think about, like, we come out of the womb, and I think we're there whole, like, and then we come into the world, and we're immediately bombarded by this world and universe, by everything, the sounds, everything, and we're taking it in, and then I think we go through life, and then a lot of times we're trying to go back to that place, right? And trying to go back to that place. And so that's just some of my thoughts too. But thank you for going there with me. I don't do this with all my people.
Not easy to talk about these things.
It isn't, but it felt right to ask you. And thanks for your courage in doing this with me, my friend. We just met. You don't know me. But there's some courage there, my friend. So again, where can people find out about you again? Let them know.
You just go to the website Aries SH, and there's going to be a lot of more info in the coming weeks. I also have an Instagram. It's called Primo Mobile, like the prime mover, or like Primo Mobile.
Spell it.
It's like PRIMUM, and then you have a bunch of underscores. I think it's 7, and then it's MOBILE, Primo Mobile.
I'll find it and put it in the copy, and I have to go follow you. I got to go do that too. Thanks again, Max, for doing this spontaneous thing. We got to know each other a little bit. Look forward to seeing you again. I know what's going to happen. See each other down the road. For everybody watching, my YouTube members, my Patreon members, you're obviously going to get this first, and then I'll get it out publicly. If you have any questions about anything, you could send me a message, as you do. I have more videos coming. I think I have another interview out today. I have some other stuff in the queue, some other interviews that I've done. Got a forecast coming soon, and I have a little something another little secret I'm going to reveal to my people, something that I'm working on here very, very soon that I'm excited to talk about. So again, thanks for being here, my friend. And we'll see.
Thank you.
We'll see everyone here on the next video.